First established in 1838, Acadia University sits nestled in the heart of Nova Scotia's beautiful Annapolis Valley. This part of Nova Scotia is known by the Mi'kmaq people as Kespukwik, one of 7 districts of Mi'kmahi and their homeland. Acadia University acknowledges the treaties of peace and friendship and thanks the Mi'kmaq people for their generosity in sharing their homeland with us.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to Acadia's Biology Department. My name is Dr. Roger Evans. I'm a plant biologist. I've been at Acadia for 20 years and it just so happens that I am currently the head of biology. I have 3 friends with me today, a 4th-year honor student and 2 other faculty members. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be the videographer. We're going to go into the biology department after some short introductions, and I'm going to ask them some questions with respect to their time at Acadia in the hopes that it will potentially either answer questions that you may have about Acadia's biology department or maybe raise some questions that you can then bring to the table when we have our open house on November 14th.
Hi, my name is Cindy Tonner and I'm a 4th-year honor student in biology and I'm working in the Easy Lab.
Hello, I'm Dr. Russell Easy. I'm an associate professor in the biology department. I'm a cell biologist, and I do a lot of cool stuff in my lab with fantastic students like Cindy.
Awesome.
Hi, I'm Dr. Melanie Coombs, and I'm an associate professor here in the biology department, and I'm an immunologist, and I'm looking at cancer and different ways we can investigate how we can kill cancer cells.
That's great.
Please allow me to virtually introduce you to Acadia's Biology Department. Established in 1910, the department is now housed in a state-of-the-art building completed in 2008. The main floor, thanks to the kind generosity of the Riddell family, is home to 5 state-of-the-art teaching laboratories. Also notice the many display cabinets used to house specimens from Acadia's E.C. Smith Herbarium, found in the K.C. Irving Environmental Science Center, as well as the Wildlife Museum housed in the basement of the building. One of the most significant upgrades with our new building was making sure that there was ample space for students to relax, meet, or to find a quiet place to study.
Yeah, so Sydney, can you tell the folks out in virtual land, why did you choose Acadia for your bio undergrad?
Sure. I chose Acadia because it was a very unique campus school location located right in the middle of Wolfville. The community was so warm and welcoming. It felt like a home away from home. We're located in one of the most beautiful locations, in my opinion, not only in the valley, but also we have the Bay of Fundy right in our backyard, which is incredible. The student experience here was amazing. The smaller institution size I found really beneficial. I got to know lots of my professors on a personal level, and then which led into a lot of research opportunities later on. And there's quite a few streams within the biology department that tailor to people's individual interests, so such as like the marine stream, the ecology stream, genetics, and also the microbiology stream as well.
Great. Where are you from?
I'm from Calgary, Alberta, so
No
I
way. Yeah,
came
you
way
came-
out over here, and I loved my decision to
Oh,
do
that's
that.
right. So family, is there a family connection or are you the
No,
first?
not at all. I was the first one.
Oh,
yeah,
excellent.
to come out here. Yeah.
That's great. Okay, Sydney, so you're in your 4th year, but you remember way back to your 1st year, what did your timetable look like as a first-year bio student?
Yeah, sure. It feels like a while ago now, but in my first year, in my first semester, I took the first part of organisms in our environment 1, which is a core course which you need to take alongside introductory to chemistry 1. This follow-up programs for the 2nd semester, organisms in their environment 2, and chemistry 2 are core courses that you need to take. There's a little bit of flexibility in terms of what science course, arts course, and English language course that you take. For me, I took reading, writing critically, I took calculus 1 and 2, and then I took introductory to psychology in my first year.
Great. Okay, Russell, so you've been at several different institutions throughout your career, including working for the government. So coming to Acadia, it's a little bit different. You've also worked at other institutions, but what would you say that in the several years that you've been here is biology's claim to fame as a program in terms of itself, but also the area that we find ourselves in?
Certainly, well, Acadia, being a smaller institution, allows the interactions between students and professors to such a high degree. Excuse me. Meaning again that we have the opportunities to meet with students one-on-one. We can bring them into our labs to do research, to interact with other students in our labs. And again, that interaction, that kind of a family type environment, again, allows us to, if there's issues, we can deal with the issues. If there's problems to solve, again, we can deal with those. So again, that interaction, that smaller institution feel and vibe is fantastic, and it certainly is well bred here in Acadia.
So Melanie, you've been here for several years, but you've also taught and worked at the Dalhousie University in Halifax. So you worked with a number of students over several years. So what are some of the careers your students have pursued either after leaving Dal or after leaving Acadia?
A lot of the students go on to do other programs. So some of them are in occupational therapy, doing a master's, and some of them are in pathology right now. I have some students that are working as project managers at local companies in bioindustry. There's some that are in dentistry, some in nursing, and some in their medical degree now.
Excellent. So Russell, we heard from Dr. Coombs that a lot of her students go on to other programs, some in the medical, on the medical side of science. You obviously have a different type of lab than Dr. Coombs has, so I'm wondering if maybe there's some other areas that some of your students might find themselves in after they graduate from Acadia.
Well, I'm finding, as you said, some similarities. Certainly health sciences students are interested in that area, but some of my students as well go into a lot of research, so basic research fields. So they're interested I do a lot of cell biology and genetics and proteomics. So I find students actually looking at some of the more harder sciences, perhaps moving outside of the field of medical research into, again, spreading their wings and looking at different areas within the medical field.
So, as I mentioned, you're in your fourth year and you're doing your honors in Dr. Easy's lab. What's your favorite course in biology so far, and what's your favorite course outside of your major in the last 4 years?
Well, I am in the genetics stream, and I'm not biased at all, but I really enjoyed Dr. Russell Easy's class, Principles of Genetics. That was an upper third year course. Okay. And I also enjoyed Animal Biodiversity, which is a core course you take in your second year. And then outside of the biology stream, I really enjoyed the philosophy course, Biomedical Ethics, and I also quite enjoyed the Women and Gender Studies courses that are offered, so Women in Science and Introductory to Women and Gender Studies.
Awesome. So Melanie, during your introduction, you introduced yourself as somebody that works in the medical area, so, specifically cancer. So does biology have a pre-med program or some sort of health science option that students that would be interested in taking health sciences could use towards getting into medical school?
Yeah, we have a health sciences option which will fully prepare students for multiple different areas in the medical field or in health sciences in general. We have a dedicated health sciences advisor, Ellen D'Entremont, who is prepared to help and educate or help advise students to fulfill their plan.
So Russell, as a cell biologist and a geneticist, obviously your lab is well equipped for doing a variety of different types of research that students are involved in. So I wonder if you can give me an idea of the types of equipment that students have access to at Acadia that they may not have access to at another institution.
Well, Acadia, again, is a small institution, but we do a lot of high-end, world-class research. So we do have access to all of the equipment we need for studying gene expression, for studying protein synthesis, and so on. So students have access to all of that equipment, but they also have access to other areas in bioinformatics, perhaps. In other words, tools to study, again, gene sequence, genetics, and proteins. The other thing, though, if we do lack anything, we have collaborations with the larger institutions that have open doors, basically, open door policies between Acadia and them to allow students to use equipment that we may not have, but otherwise they have everything they need right here.
Okay, so you mentioned one of the attractions to coming to Acadia is being close to the Bay of Fundy. How do we utilize the Bay of Fundy during coursework?
Sure, you actually get introduced to it quite early on as soon as you're in your first core bio courses. We do a lab where you take the class out into the mudflats of the Bay of Fundy. We put on our big rubber boots and we go and we dig around for corophium, and then we I get to bring that back to our laboratory back on campus and get to do experiments that way. So it really aids to the unique ecosystems that we have available to us just where we're set up, which is really exciting that we actually get to go out into these ecosystems and utilize those for our studies.